But it's always a Tuesday around here. Patrick Harris with you. Joe Fisher to my left.
Let's go.
Oh, buddy. I'm 40 years old now, Joe, and the things you were talking to me about are kind of the exact same thing you deal with when you turn 40.
You're 40, but I feel like I'm the 50-year-old on this show.
I do feel like that. I am 40 and 8 days. I am 40 and 8 days years old.
Well, congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Getting back from
Thank
old
you.
Vegas.
Vegas was okay. We made it.
That was your first Vegas trip ever?
My first run, 4 nights.
I'm not even going to say that I've been to Vegas because I went to Vegas when I was 14 years old.
Yeah,
I feel like Vegas as a 14-year-old versus a 40-year-old are two completely different cities.
I went to Reno once when I was 16 with my parents. And I think at 6, or maybe I was 18. I think I was 16. And you could be in the Circus in Reno at 16. You just couldn't gamble, couldn't get drinks or anything like that.
I just remember being in Vegas as a 14-year-old. I got a whole collection of trading cards for escorts. I got their stats on the back and everything like that.
Dude, I did have a moment. Abs and I were walking the strip.
5'5", 36, 42, 35, 36. I'm like, oh, what's her body count? That's pretty low.
Oh, preschool teacher and I, we wandered the strip on our first night for a little bit. And she had to run into Dusty Harrah's casino.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she actually ran into Dusty Harrah.
Like, holy
No,
crap.
that'd be awesome.
I'm like, what?
That'd be great.
Boss following.
No. She had to use El Baño or La Baña. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
The female bathroom would be La Baña.
And we were right outside Harrah's. And she ran in to use the bathroom, and so I'm standing outside just kind of waiting, hey, come back to me. And this woman walks by me, and boy, whoo, looking good. And she goes, hey, hon, you waiting for me? And I was like,
no, my girl's
No.
taking a dump in there. I'm waiting for her.
But it was one of those moments, just like, nice. Still got it. Ugh. Still got it.
Sure.
Yep.
You keep telling yourself that.
That escort walked by me and was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to ride the P. Harris train tonight
I think she saw the size of your wallet, bro.
for about $3,000. But hey, you
She-
waiting for me, honey?
She saw that stash.
She saw that stat. Oh, I was clean shaven. I was looking good.
She wanted
Particular.
mustache rides.
She said, honey, you waiting for me? And I looked at her and I smiled and I said, no.
$5 to touch my toes, $10 to touch your toes.
I think last time I was in Vegas, I'm pretty sure she was a hooker. She said, "Get off the phone, baby. I'm calling you." I'm
Yeah,
like, Do you
yeah.
guys come up with
Got
these?
great lines. They're almost borderline dad jokes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you waiting for me, honey?
Have
Like,
you seen the videos by
Get
chance?
off the phone, baby. You're calling me.
Like, no,
I-
my wifey.
I need to finish the sentence because as soon as you start a sentence saying, have you seen the videos by chance? Have you seen the videos by chance of the streets of Thailand where like
I am watching White Lotus right now.
great show.
So I feel like I'm on the streets of
Well,
Thailand.
it kind of gets to that point is like white Americans or white males walking through the streets
It's
of
like
Thailand.
a target on your back.
Oh my God.
They're
dude.
just like, that guy. That
Dude.
guy right there. That guy, he's in a Hawaiian shirt. That guy.
They're putting up they're trying to get a charge call from you in the middle of the street. They're pulling on you, yanking on. You cannot go 5 feet down the street without some lady boy just tugging on your collar. It is insane.
You'd be lucky if it's a lady boy.
Honestly, you'd be more lucky if it wasn't a lady boy.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah, quite honestly.
I'm all like trying to get stats. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, a lady boy got me. And
Your-
Joe's like,
your odds.
Joe's like, I don't know if that's what you want.
Your odds are better if it is just, in fact, a lady.
Well, it depends on what you're into, buddy.
I don't know,
Pretty
man.
aggressive. I've
We
seen those.
we are not we are equal opportunity employers here.
Have you seen the White Lotus episode, though, where Walton Goggins goes and talks
meets
to his-
Sam Rockwell?
Yeah, and
I
talks
watched
to-
it last night. That's the last episode I saw. I
That
found out he
scene-
did that in one take.
That's
Sam Rockwell. Like, you want to talk about underrated actors? All right. We get into this all the time about underrated actors, people that are. Sam Rockwell is absolutely fantastic. And any movie you see him in, you should watch. He's great.
Well, aren't you already watching the movie? If you've seen him, or are you talking about like a trailer or something? Like
I'm
that?
talking about anything. Like if you're like, oh, should I watch this movie? And it's like, well, Sam Rockwell's in it. And the answer is probably yes.
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I would almost like to go to Thailand for that street alone, just to. It's almost like those football.
Give it a shot.
You know those football.
See if you can hang.
Those football like training machines with all the little like arms on it, where if you're a running back, you just have to run through it.
Yeah.
to
You want to
see-
try?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the old. We should do the Olympics, but have an average person to see what they
How
do.
quick can you get through this hooker street on Thailand?
I would swim against Michael Phelps, just to see.
I am a world.
I'm not an
champion.
amazing swimmer, but I can hold my own.
I'm a world champion of getting past the lady boys of Thailand.
I would swim against Michael Phelps.
It's impressive, man.
I would.
I'll
I
tell
would.
you
I
what.
am 1080 the fan.
Well, so Vegas was great.
Vegas was good. Vegas was nice.
You gamble at all, or did you keep clean?
We
You
lost.
have a clean sheet out there
I think we lost $130.
in Vegas. That's a win.
That's entertainment.
That's breaking
Congratulations.
even.
yeah. And we lost $130 in about 20 minutes total of
Oh,
gambling.
That'll happen to
What,
you.
then you quit?
Yeah,
immediately?
yeah. We stayed at the Venetian at the Palazzo. And you got to be a little bit of a high roller to gamble there. And we're not gamblers, so we weren't like looking for the war and the tic-tac-toe, the Chevy Chase Vegas vacation casinos, because we're not really gamblers.
I would crush at war.
There's a scene where he has to pick a number.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase looks at the guy and he's like doing the Chevy Chase eye thing where he's like, and he goes 4, and the guy goes 7. He goes, damn it.
Give me a table of crazy eights, and I'm walking away a winner.
Hey man, I was ready.
Speed.
I was ready to play some blackjack.
I love blackjack.
What, like a $50 minimum bet table there?
It was 25 minimum, and it was just like, And they were like, "Oh, you want like a $5 table? Yeah, those are somewhere else." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care enough about that."
Could you find the last time, dude? I was in Vegas before the pandemic started, like a month before the world shut down for my 30th birthday, and the $5 table, the one that I found, was at like 2 a.m. at the Excalibur. So that's like right down next to the Luxor, where the Essie old casinos are.
Mhm.
That's about it.
Yeah, so we just kind of skipped that. We're just not really into that.
Next time you go, you can get some promotional credits for your birthday. I think at some places still they'll give you like $10 or $20 in like free play, so you can go to a slot and you show them your ID and
a
sign
little
up for the-
promotional rub and tug.
Oh yeah, I didn't care. I didn't care.
A little promotional rubby action.
I saw a
Who doesn't like a good rubby action?
I saw a
Big wheel?
really bad, amazing Elvis impersonation show. Oh, it was so good.
Well, I feel like that is that. Like,
Oh,
it's
it was-
amazingly bad.
It was
it's a cult
so
classic.
good. It was 75
It's so
minutes.
bad. It's so good.
75 minutes long. He probably did 20 songs. He looked more like Wayne Newton than Elvis,
Maybe it was Wayne Newton.
but he was like really trying to get the crowd going.
edition, sweetie.
So he like really got the crowd going. So he was like totally cool with singing songs. I'm belting songs.
Lord, my temperature.
Oh, dude, I was so into it. I saw Goose on Tuesday night, which is one of my favorite bands, and that show was amazing. Like Abs and I had such a good time at that show. But the Elvis show, borderline, I enjoyed it more. Just because I bought a bottle of champagne and like a triple old fashioned in a plastic cup, and it was absolutely amazing.
Hell yeah.
A triple old fashioned.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So it's like an
basically-
old fashioned, but it's
It's just
8
whiskey.
ounces.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just whiskey at
a
that point.
splash of the what is it, vermouth or whatever?
With a single Splenda
Some
packet.
bitters, a little bit of
I can
simple
for
syrup.
bitters. Thank you.
A single Splenda packet.
Oh, it was so good.
Have you ever
So
had
good.
an old fashioned at like a sports bar or a dive bar?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh,
Oh, dude, I couldn't believe my eyes when she was making it in front of me
Yeah, I know. If you get an
with
old
pride.
If you get an old fashioned at a bar like that, just like you said, just order whiskey.
I learned.
Can I get whiskey on some ice?
Yeah, this was not recent. This was like.
You got some old crow back there or what?
Yeah, this was like 7-8 years ago. I asked her, and I saw her make it in front of me. I'm like, dear God. Like, is
God.
this?
This ain't gonna end well.
there are
Oh my
certain kind of bars
God.
that you can't like do the fancy stuff. It's like Jack and Coke or tequila and orange juice.
That's
that's
it.
the limit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that, you're just asking for trouble.
Oakley dokley. Well, we do have a show for you tonight. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll dive into some strike zone action. Plus, we got a new member of the Home Run Derby that I'm really excited about. And in this hour, we'll probably dive into, I don't know, you ever seen a guy walk off the mound and scream an expletive, and then you instantly know what he knows and life is over for you? So we'll get to that. When we come back, though, it sounds like we need some psychiatric help.
Yeah, we
Is
need
that
to
what's going on here?
sit down on this couch right here, Patrick, and lay down. We
Share
need to-
my feelings?
Yeah, we need to talk here. We need to, I wouldn't say it's an intervention, but yeah, more of a psychiatrist appointment here. We need to know some things, the deep inner thoughts of why you dislike this so much.
I'm a little scared about this, but we'll see. I'll be honest. I will be honest.
Open up. Let us know how you feel. Who hurt you?
We'll do that next. That's Jordan Schultz on the ones and twos. This is the Hot Corner on 1080 The Fan.
Plan on
This is the Hot Corner with Patrick Harris and Joe Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
Nah, we ain't taking that.
Spit on that night.
718 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge.
I'm going to crack my soda pop real quick.
Fan text line 503-864-6326.
That's a good crack right there.
That is a good crack. Great notion. Be proud of you. Fan text line, she'll let you follow us throughout the entire show. Interact with us as much as you like. There's also the YouTube stream to shout a holler to. Let me check.
There's one.
And
And it's literally just howdy.
it's probably not even one. It's probably just me on the YouTube
And it was
channel.
probably meant for prime time also.
Probably meant for prime time. Hey, those guys are pretty good at what they do.
Maybe. Of course they are. You kidding me?
When one doesn't have the trots.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
It's hard to do a
Skid Mark
show.
Steve, Skid Mark Sook. More
Look,
like
I will
it.
back anybody that has the trots, all right? Things happen. I just turned 40. I am here to back and support any person that runs into issues like that, Joe.
I just did cocaine
Come
for
on,
4 straight
Joe.
days. You know
All right.
the dump I just had.
You ever suck D for marijuana?
I
You should
personally
have
know.
that drop.
gonna
I don't
Oh,
think
we-
you can say that.
I don't know if you can say that or have it. As a
Bob
drop.
Saget is so good in that.
Yeah, there's gotta
Boo
be
this man.
Boo this man.
gotta be
Boo this man.
some clip we can drop in that rant. Good God.
I guess we have to check the psychiatric health of one Patrick Harris.
Well-
That's me. I'm curious about this because, Joe, I feel really good right now. Okay. I had a nice rafting trip in Idaho. I just went to Vegas with
You're-
my wife.
You're living a good white dude life right now.
I'm actually going to Hawaii next
Oh,
Wednesday.
dude. The shirt. I feel like
I'm
yeah.
living the vibe right now.
Yeah, you're foreshadowing
Mahalo.
with the shirt.
I'm living the vibe right now.
You need
life,
a +1.
Life is pretty good.
What island? Maui, right?
Oahu.
Oh, as some locals say, the crappy island.
I agree. However, it's free room and board.
Oh, I'll take that any day.
So
I don't
yeah.
care what island you
So,
put me on.
I'm outside of Honolulu on Oahu.
Put me on the bombed out one. I forget
Dude,
which
I'd
one that
take-
is.
I take free room and board in Damascus, Oregon.
What's
You know
the-
what I mean? Like, let's go. Shout out Damascus if you're listening to Honk Your Horn.
What's the bombed out island in Hawaii?
Maui.
No.
Well, Maui had the fires.
It is gosh.
You talking about Pearl Harbor? Never forget.
No, I'm gonna butcher this. It's Kaho'olawe. It's a island, one of the Hawaiian islands where they literally just used as a bombing island, like to just test
Just test stuff.
test bombs.
Dang, that's rough.
And you can see it when you're on Maui, like out in the distance. And I remember my aunt telling me, she's like, "Oh yeah, there's Kaho'olawe." I'm like, "Oh, that's that. What does anybody live there?" She's like, "Oh no, they were bombing that thing in the 50s and 60s. There's no one living there."
They killed everybody years
They're
ago.
like, there's like no vegetation on it. Like you even see from afar, you're like, there's no trees or anything out there, is there?
That's not Jurassic. They didn't shoot Jurassic Park out there.
No.
No,
I don't
no.
think anybody wants
No,
to.
they did not.
Yeah. During World War II, it was used as a training ground and bombing range for the armed forces of the United States.
Well, it didn't really work at Pearl Harbor.
No. Maybe I think they did a couple of years after that. That's
got it,
again, they were a few years late on that.
Sorry, my history's a little fuzzy.
No, I don't know if this is psychiatric,
But
or
I'm telling you, Joe, I'm in a good spot right now.
I know, but I feel like this might be a good time to have this conversation. Then maybe not as much psychiatry, more
You're
more
gonna tear me down,
psychologist.
aren't
We need to talk to you because we talked about this last week. Because the Oregon State Beavers,
You got to be in to do it.
they're in it and they're doing it.
They are
They're playing some good
the
baseball.
most prolific program at Omaha right now, are they not?
I mean, 3 national
Who's
championships
got more than them?
within the last 20 years. I mean,
In the final 8, who's got more than them?
I don't know if there is anybody.
I don't know. I know Coastal
LSU has
Carolina's
one.
won. Yeah.
That's one. I'm not here for one. I'm here for multiple.
Quite honestly,
You can put it on the ball.
LSU might have more than one. I just don't know.
No, I think I saw somebody in the SEC has like 23. Is it Arkansas? No, Arkansas has none.
I would think it'd be like either Vandy or Tennessee.
Vandy's got a couple. I saw old Dansby Swanson hit a home run today. Speaking of Vanderbilt,
Patrick, we want to figure out because
you
last
want to
week
figure it out.
we were talking about this last week, and I know that you don't like college baseball, but I feel like the excuse.
Oh, I have no problem with college baseball. I just
do
don't
not,
watch it.
Do
I just
not,
don't watch it.
No, that is such a cop out. Over the years, you have said college baseball is not real baseball.
It's
hate
not.
college baseball.
It's not.
And I feel like it's always been because of the quote unquote metal bats.
Quote unquote, are they not metal?
They are metal.
Okay, so what's the quote unquote?
That's it? Like that
I'm asking you. You said quote unquote metal bats.
Well,
and I
yes,
said,
okay.
are they metal bats? You said yes. So I'm curious what your quote unquote means.
Well, that is what I'm quoting, is you saying that the metal bats is the reason that you do not
so
like
you
college
want
baseball.
to know why I don't like college baseball?
I feel like there's got to be more to it than
Now-
just I don't like metal bats.
Now,
like, they're like, come on.
Now, I will say this. I will watch any sport at a high level. Any sport at a high level of competition, high level of athleticism. You know, like tonight on this TV here, I've got Dodgers Padres. That is high-level June baseball. I will watch the NBA Finals. I will watch the Champions League. I will watch the Nations League in soccer. I will watch the Super Bowl, all the playoffs, the play-in games for the NBA. I'll watch anything. High-level sports with something on the line is amazing. At all times amazing. What I will counter you with this, since you want to dive in to
The brain of Patrick
the
Harris.
brain of Patrick Harris, which is a dangerous, dangerous place. Go ask preschool. She will tell you. She will tell you it's a dangerous, dangerous place to be.
I am 1080 the fan.
Thank you very much. I am. When you are in college, I'm gonna talk to you, Jordan Schultze, my man. All right.
Yeah, I'll turn my mic off.
Have Joe turn his mic off. We don't care about him. We're
Oh,
going
we
to talk
do.
to Jordan Schultz, okay? The producer of this show, big-time sports fan, working his way up, doing his thing. Jordan, when you are in college, not you, but when someone is in college,
Okay.
the point of college is to become prepared for what's next.
Yeah.
Okay?
Expose yourself to new ideas.
So you get a degree in sports broadcasting because you want to be a broadcaster. You get a degree in architecture because you want to design bridges and buildings, etc., right? Do they not give you the tools to help you learn how to succeed at the next level?
That's literally what it's for. Right?
That's literally
It's
what
you're
it's
paying
for.
for. And a party.
Quote Jordan Schultz, that's literally what it's for. Now, if you are really good at baseball and you go to college, you're using that to try to get better to play in the bigs, right?
I see
Now-
where you're going with this.
Now, what if in the bigs you can only write in cursive, but in college they make you write however you want? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I should probably be working on cursive if I want to be in the bigs, right?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, brother.
See, he knows where I'm going.
I know
so
where
he's-
you're going with this.
So if I'm trying to be better at baseball, I should probably use the tools that make me good at baseball.
I mean,
So you're going to give me a bat that helps me cheat
no.
to be good at baseball?
You're going to give them a bat to make the product actually watchable because otherwise, that's literally the amount of runs scored
Then
are the
that's a problem with college baseball.
You're not wrong.
That's the reason why I don't watch it.
And I'm on your side of this. I'm actually not on Joe's side of this argument. I hate watching a full college baseball game because even with a time clock, they still have over 3.5-hour games on the regular.
I don't.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't care. Look, in college football, 1 foot in instead of 2. I get it. You're learning. Basketball,
whoa,
basketball,
whoa.
closer 3-point line. You're learning.
Whoa.
I get it. But the ball's not changed. What if Johnny Manziel wins
the-
the Heisman Trophy by throwing a Nerf football?
Is the rules not changed?
That
though?
Nerf football will fly 100 yards if you throw it right.
Okay, to go back on what you're saying, getting 1 foot in bounds is not preparing you for NFL football. Having a shorter 3-point line is not preparing you for the NBA.
Right, but the basketball or the football is not different.
no, I don't think there's much of a difference
Bro,
between the equipment
bro,
and the
come
play and what
on,
you're
Joe.
playing on.
Joe, I'm not being extreme here.
I think you are being extreme.
The difference between a bat that's metal and a bat that's wood are extremely different.
I'm gonna further-
and that's your main purpose.
Can you put your bat on the ball?
Did the guy catch the ball? The guy caught the ball. Okay? It's not like they let him
With 1
kind
foot or
of-
2 feet?
It's not
2
like
feet
they
in bounds?
kind of let him drop the ball.
Well, I
Joe,
mean,
I can't believe that I'm losing this argument. I can't believe that every person I talk to, I lose this argument. Look, your fundamental thing you do, the object you hold in your hand is not the same. The basketball is the same.
It's the
football
game,
is
though.
the same. The puck is the same. The soccer ball is the same.
It's the game, though.
No,
it's
no,
the game
no,
of baseball. I
no,
don't see how
no.
you can watch college baseball and just be like, this is not baseball. This is not the game I know.
It's
Literally because
baseball.
of-
It's baseball. It's still 90 feet. The pitchers are great. If I watch college baseball, I'm watching pitchers. I'm not watching
Well,
batters.
I will say, if
I'm
you
not
want,
watching batters. Your fly ball to left field, which would be out 99% of the time in Major League Baseball, is a home run because you get a little oomph.
I will
You get a
say,
little,
and this
for lack
could,
of a better term.
this could be either argument for or against college baseball.
You're about to sell yourself out.
Well, I was gonna say it's either for or against. Is that if you have a game going into the let's say like the sixth inning, fifth or sixth inning, and it's a 9-3 game, and you're like, oh gosh, I know we're up 6 runs with the starting pitcher. He's put a couple guys on. That bullpen goes in, all bets are off. This could be a 14-9 game before we can blink.
Well, right, because it's collegiate and you don't have the same amount of athletes. Let me ask you this:
Is there anything
why did Bryce Harper not play in college?
Well, because Bryce Harper was a one-in-a-generational player that didn't need to play in college.
Because college was beneath him.
Because
it wasn't going to prepare him to be in the major leagues.
He actually technically played in college at high school age. Wasn't he at a community college taking at bats for a team at the age of 16 or 17?
Schulte might
be right.
It was like Las Vegas CC.
But the point that I'm trying to say is, it's like I'm going to skip college. This isn't going to make me better. This is going to make me worse.
NBA players used to do that until they instituted that stupid rule.
Oh, and Bryce Harper, to your point, Patrick, he did go to that college and he used a wooden bat. He literally came in and said, no, I know I'm going to the next level, and I've got to make sure that I'm at the top of my game for that. So why not use what they're going to use at the next level as the hitting
What's Kyle
tool?
Manzardo more famous for? Playing at Wazoo?
Playing
at the Pickles?
Playing for the Pickles,
Yeah,
baby.
what do they use at the Pickles, baby?
Well, that's a wood bat league.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. Okay, to check in on my psyche, where is my psyche wrong on this?
I think that you are literally choosing one aspect of the college baseball experience to...
One aspect?
One aspect.
The thing they hold in their hands.
Yeah,
The thing they need to be successful is a cheater.
I would say the thing...
What about golf? The cheater putt? They don't do that anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Well, no, because you have to have it... You can't have it against your body anymore. Because they were like,
you
that
have
ain't
to-
punting.
No,
They were like, that ain't putting.
I literally just watched the tournament this week. Byung-Hung On, he uses it.
When was the last time
I
Adam
think you have
Scott...
to have a hand
When was the last
between-
time Adam Scott did anything?
Adam Scott is
He had a
literally-
cheater putt.
No, he's been literally one of the longest tenured golfers on the PGA.
Well,
Tour.
awesome. When was the last time he won a major?
Well, golf.
When he had a cheater putt.
I will also say that golf is the sport where winning does not dictate how successful you are.
I don't know. Do you think there's something wrong with my psyche?
I do, because it's baseball, baby.
I don't think it's baseball.
It is baseball, baby.
I mean, it is baseball.
Come on.
But it's baseball in the sense that, like, me and my kid throw a Nerf football, and that's football.
No, that's not the same.
Even if I set up, 100 yards, and I got a line right there, and he's got a defensive line.
No.
But I throw a Nerf football to him.
No.
And he's like, well, yeah, I got it.
It's not the same.
The bat is such a focal point of the game. Why is it not the same as the level you are trying to reach?
Because I would say that the pitcher is a very important part of the game. The baseball is the same.
I actually think it's Easton and Rawlings in a mafia
and DeMarini
to make sure that college baseball doesn't get rid of metal bats, because then they'd be out of business.
Oh, no, they wouldn't. Dude, go to any Dick's Sporting Goods.
If Easton doesn't, if there are no metal bats in baseball, Easton loses $1 billion in revenue.
That's not no.
Who's buying them? Not colleges.
The youth sports equipment movement now, dude. When you and I played back in the day, there
not
was none
colleges.
of this available. No, but the amount of money spent for 7-year-olds on equipment now is insane. It's
Look,
pretty unbelievable.
I'm trying to set my kids up for success, not for failure.
I'm pulling up.
You want to play baseball? I'm putting a wood bat in your hand.
Yeah, we'll see how
that's how you play baseball.
We'll see how that works out.
Go ask Joe DiMaggio what he thinks about this.
I'm pulling up the Easton Sports balance sheet.
I'll bet you Randy Johnson, if he sat in here right now and I said, hey, is swinging a metal bat going to make you a better baseball player? He'd be like, no. Also, my 97-mile-an-hour slider ain't going to help either.
He pitches, though.
But he's still going to tell you. A pitcher is still going to tell you that ain't going to help you.
I'm going to pull up the Easton Bell Sports Incorporated financial statements.
I can't believe I'm on an island in this.
I'm with you. I am.
There's just when I'm watching these games, I'm just like, I'm watching baseball. I'm not watching.
Not me. It's so tough.
I mean, they're even in one of the
Dude, somebody hits a home run and then a bunch of people like gather around home plate to high five them. What is this, softball?
no, even in one of the Beavers wins.
What are we doing here, guys?
The Sunday win was full of errors, and there were points where there were in the same inning.
But that's
easy-
fine. Errors are
No,
fine.
it's not.
Bad pitching is fine. That's college.
That's
You're
baseball.
Learning, you're
I hate it.
learning to be
Errors don't
better.
happen in baseball.
You are learning to be better. Can't be better if you're using a bat that you can't use in the next level.
I feel that you are.
My psyche is fine. I think you're rattled, Joe.
No, I'm not. I feel like you are just fixated on one part of the game of college baseball.
One part of the game is the bat that you hold.
That is one
That
part.
is the game.
There's still base running. There's still fielding. There's still pitching. There's still catching.
But the ball goes further
There's still-
because you're using this cheater bat.
There's still managing.
I'm out. I'm out. This show's over. I'm done.
Cue the close music.
Close music. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
I don't know. I just feel like you in 2025 you need to have an open mind.
We gotta get out of here. When we come back,
I feel like
ouch,
we solved nothing.
we solved absolutely nothing except for I hate Joe Fisher.
I'm gonna break you.
When we come back, somebody else is broken. That's Joe Fisher. I love you, Joe.
Yeah.
I absolutely love you.
IU.
We'll toss it to Schultz with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on the Fan, the Seattle Mariners 3-7 in their last 10. In action right now against the Diamondbacks down in Arizona for Game 2 of a 3-game set. Logan Evans making the start. The team had to put Bryce Miller on the injured list with elbow inflammation, possibly going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Given up a couple of earned runs so far in his 3 innings of work. Looks like Corbin Carroll responsible for one of those RBIs thanks to a triple. Arizona leading 2-0, top 4 once again. Brandon Pfaadt on the mound for Arizona, and the Mariners do have a runner on first right now. They could tie it up with a Ben Williamson bomb. On to the huge NBA Finals and probably even bigger Stanley Cup Finals. Both off tonight. The NBA resuming tomorrow with Game 3 in Indianapolis. Action on the ice between the Oilers and Panthers gets going with Game 4 in Miami on Thursday. And in college football, Lake Ridge star edge rusher Noah Tischendorf flipping his commitment from Oregon State to West Virginia. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The inside story on the Blazers, Ducks, and Beavers. Danny and Dusty, weekdays noon to 3 on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
I'm George McCoy with Warren Allen, attorneys at law.
It's always baseball season. This is the Hot Corner with Harrison Fisher on 1080 The Fan.
That's all. We got one damn hit.
You can't say damn on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
You know, I probably shouldn't bash on these college kids because they are really good at baseball. Like Dansby Swanson at Vanderbilt won a natty
They're not playing baseball.
and then
though.
went number 1 overall. And the Diamondbacks stupidly traded him straight up for Shelby Miller, and then Dansby won a World Series in Atlanta.
They're not playing baseball in college, though, Patrick.
They're playing a form of baseball.
No, it's
They're
not
just
baseball.
Okay.
It's not baseball, baby.
They are playing baseball, but they are not playing a baseball game to set themselves up for the next level.
Well, I don't.
Unless you're a pitcher.
Well, honestly, how
Batters are not setting themselves up for the next level.
Listen,
That's my problem.
I'm sure there's a lot of collegiate athletes. I would say the majority of them, like, yeah, I think I can make it to the bigs. I think I can make it to the NFL. I think I can be an NBA player.
I could shoot like nobody's business.
But again, let's be real. What's the percentage? I know they have numbers like this. Many.
It's like 1% of collegiate athletes go on to be a professional.
The 99% will go to be pros in something else.
That's an NCAA garbage commercial.
Some of them become insurance agents.
They're like hedge fund kids.
Yeah.
They're like, look at this guy. He's worth $6 billion. It's like, well,
This guy sells car insurance.
yeah, well, Patrick graduated from college and he does a stupid baseball show on 1080 The Fan on Tuesday nights.
So I will say there is a very small majority of all Division I, Division II, all division collegiate athletes that are preparing themselves for the next level.
I just don't think metal bats are preparing them correctly.
But I don't think the whole point of college baseball is to, like, the reason we play college baseball is to get all of you prepared to play in the MLB.
Yeah.
Like, that is not the point of college
Then that is
baseball.
a fundamental problem of college baseball.
But that's not the point
Because
of
college
college
football
baseball.
gets you ready to play NFL. College basketball gets you ready to play NBA.
No, it doesn't. Because that's the same case for college football and basketball, where it's like
You
not all players
You
are.
don't think the 3 years Travis Hunter spent at Colorado did not prepare him to be in the NFL?
could've been in
Again,
the NFL
Travis
last
Hunter
year. No.
is one of the best players that we've seen of our generation.
Okay, what about that
skills-wise.
kid? What about that kid Scattaboo at Arizona State?
I mean,
you don't think Arizona
the
State
NFL.
gave him
Yeah.
a shot to play in the NFL?
But I'm also thinking the third string cornerback that plays for the Vermont Catamounts as a senior.
Is Joe Flacco elite?
I mean,
He went to Delaware.
Okay, but there were scouts.
Tony
that say-
Romo.
When
I don't know, Jim. What do you think?
When undrafted, I don't think that college sports again are constructed to be. We are doing this to make sure you guys are prepared to play professional insert sport.
But it should be.
But it's not.
But it should be.
It's not, though.
But it should be, especially with how much money is involved.
I will say, though, what shocked me today is that there's professional softball, which I felt like was not a thing.
I think baseball's throwing some money at it, too.
I think it was on ESPN, the Ocho, or
They are
something like
trying.
that,
I
but-
think baseball's throwing some money at it, too. Not quite WNBA style, but I think baseball's throwing some money at it to try to make a professional softball league happen. Jenny Finch is hella mad.
Athletes
'Cause she would make
Unlimited
so much money.
Softball League. The Volts versus the Bandits. That's what I was watching today.
Where are they from?
Oh, I don't know. Insert city.
Albuquerque. I want to go to New Mexico.
Do you?
No,
That's
you
the next
don't.
place I
Good
wanna go.
skiing.
I've been there. It's not fun.
I want to go to the high desert.
Some good slopes.
Slide over to El Paso, Texas.
Drive up to Colorado. It's beautiful.
There's four
I've been to Colorado,
teams.
that's
in,
whatever.
4 teams in the AUSL. The Volts, the Bandits, the Talons,
Ooh.
in the Blaze. I'm
Ooh,
a Talons fan.
Dude,
Just
I'm in.
sign me up.
I'm into the Blaze. I'm into the Blaze.
Honestly, the Talons logo is pretty sick too. I might have to get a Talons.
We got
one.
hats. We got hats.
I might just have to get
New era
one.
5950s.
You guys all right over there?
I'm making a bird noise. I don't know. I think Patrick has lymphoma.
No.
Dude. I
Don't
don't
you
know.
put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I don't know if they have hats. They have visors though.
That is such a burn if you think about it.
Well, you gonna criticize softball now too?
You know, they don't play with hats like they do
You
in
know,
the
they don't
pros.
throw overarm. This is not baseball. That's their game. They throw underhand. That's their game.
Well, and
I have
watch-
nothing but mad respect for it.
And watch a
That's
major
what they
league
do.
hitter try to face a softball
That's what they
pitch.
do.
Nope.
They throw underhand. That's
luck.
their game. That's their game. It's not like collegiate softball players throw underhand and then they go to professional softball and have to throw overhand. Okay? Okay? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I think I might want a Talon's visor.
Look at Joe. This is Joe Fisher, ladies and gentlemen.
Go golfing with that.
Down goes Anderson. Down goes
I think I won this fight. I think this fight went about 8 rounds, and we got a TKO.
No, and then
I would never knock you out, Joe. You're my friend. I love you.
And then the piss test comes in. Patrick is on steroids because of the copious amount of blow that he did in Vegas.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
I mean, I am neither here to confirm nor deny.
How was that? How was the Rock in Las Vegas?
Dude, soft. Soft.
Fish scale over there?
All right, when we come back, you ever come off the mound and just, oh, God, and know what's going on? Yeah, me neither. We'll do that next. The Hot Corner, today the Fan.
suspended on your knees. It's hard to get down the throat.
Only you can prevent wildfires. It's always baseball season. This is the Hot Corner with Harrison Fisher on 1080 The Fan.
Coming up in the second hour, we'll dive into, I don't know. I had a show built today, and we'll pull back the curtain here. I don't know. Maybe we'll... Cal Raleigh wants to be in the home run derby. Maybe we'll get into that. The Mariners suck. We'll have fair or foul at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour as well. But we're talking about things that are dead, like college baseball.
Very much alive, my friend. Go Murray State.
Did you guys see Corbin Burns' last start?
No.
He threw a pitch, and I believe it was hit. I could be wrong on that, so excuse my ignorance on it. He threw a pitch, and after he threw it, he yelled, F! And walked off the mound.
Because he knew.
And my buddy told me, because we're in a fantasy league.
That was a good pitch.
Yeah, we're in a fantasy league together. And he said, did you see that? And I go, no, I didn't see it. And he goes, let me show you. And he showed me it. He
should have stayed in Baltimore.
Threw a pitch and screamed an expletive as he walked off the mound. And it was like, ooh, he probably didn't feel something good. You know, thinking, oh, all right, he probably just, didn't feel something good. Turns out that was a pop, and that would be the old Tommy John for Corbin Burns. And I think it's interesting. We talk about this all the time. At least I try to talk about it. And I think some national guys say this statement too, which is probably where I stole it from. You can't win a World Series in May or June, but you can sure lose a World Series in May or June. Is it safe to say that Arizona is kaput?
It's funny that you say this, Patrick, because we didn't get to it last week, but on my show sheet for last week, it was my flavor of the week, and was the Milwaukee Brewers. And
Milwaukee.
And the team, the fade of the week was the Arizona Diamondbacks, because they're falling apart, man. And then this injury had just happened, and it was like, we're done here.
They had that big collapse against the Braves. Now, the other night, was it last night? Josh Naylor hit that grand slam to beat the Mariners.
Ooh, the wounds are still fresh.
But it feels like the Diamondbacks are in positions all the time where it's a little too critical, and that's not sustainable. What's interesting is I love this Diamondbacks team. I love the way they're built. I think if you're the GM, I think if you're a fan of the Diamondbacks, I think you should be very excited about the future. Corbin Carroll, Tori Lavallo is one of our favorite people on this show. But that starting rotation has been rough. Zach Gallen's had a really tough year. It's been up and down for him, very much up and down. Brandon Pfaadt hasn't quite figured it out yet, which you would think by now he would kind of get there. Former Hillsborough Hot, Brandon Pfaadt. Corbin Burns going down. We love the National League West. We love this division. There are 4 teams in it. Arizona was in the World Series 2 years ago. Giants are Giants, Padres are Padres, and Dodgers be doing Dodger things. This is now a 3-team race. I think I can't see how Arizona comes back from this. Even if Jordan Montgomery were to come back, you signed Corbin Burns because you needed starters. I know, and I was being nice saying that. I was like trying to be optimistic saying that. But, Perdomo had a great start, but he's tailed off. Eugenio, he's going to hit home runs, but he's also going to bat .210. I think this team is in big trouble, and I think it's easy to kind of say, we said this last week, or I said this. I don't want to lump you guys in. I said last week, I'm probably never going to talk about the Red Sox again this season unless they fire Alex Cora. I don't know if I ever talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks this year. I think this is it. I think that was your shot, and I think that shot's over.
Yeah, it's interesting because as far as like offensively, like getting on base goes, they haven't been that bad, but also they just really haven't had big offensive performances outside of Corbin Carroll and Eugenio. Like they're not getting a ton of like slugging. They're not getting a ton of.
Ketel Marte's finally back,
and he's decent. He batting like 280, 290, something.
He's been good since he's been back, but he was out for a while. And who knows if that continues for him.
Yeah, so I just, and then losing Corbin Burns, who outside Merrill Kelly was one of your better pitchers, and then they just threw Rodriguez on the IL for, I think, 10 days, so God knows what's going on there. It's going to be one of those where it's like they are going to be either looking for relief guys, mid-inning guys to make starts for them. I have no idea what the hell they're going to do as far as starting pitching goes for the rest of the season.
And that's why I think it's over.
Yeah,
and I think it's tough. Dude, look, Cleveland Guardian fan here, Joe. Your O's. Sometimes you just kind of know. Sometimes you just kind of know. Look, my team was in the American League Championship Series last year. I think there are a couple pitches that could have made that game a 7-game series. And if you go 7 games, who knows? Do I think my team beats the Dodgers? No, but I think we might make it to the World Series. Sometimes the next year you look at it and you kind of say, nope, it's not us.
Well, and who knows? Like maybe Zach Gallen is able to turn back into form from last year. Maybe Brandon Pfaadt.
He's an all-star starter. I mean, he's got juice.
Yeah.
He's really, really good.
And that's where it's like, he's able to go back to, watch film, see what he's been doing this recent part of this year to see if there's something he can change, if his approach has been different this year than last. I don't know. Like he maybe he can go back and watch what he was doing last year, see what he's doing different. Paralysis by analysis. You have so many analytics in this game now that he can maybe take a look and see what was working for him last year and return to that. I'm sure maybe he's already been doing that this year. It's like, hey, why I did great last year. Let's just keep doing the same thing. But guys have now caught on to what makes him great. Same with Brandon Pfaadt. So I just feel that losing Burns and then Rodriguez, who hasn't been great, but you're losing another starting pitcher. It's like you're really going to have to depend on guys that you haven't had to all year. And again, outside of your dominant hitters that have been putting up big runs for you, big home runs, RBIs, and slugging, I mean, you don't have a Christian Walker there anymore. So I'm
you don't got that vet.
No, I'm just nervous as far as like, where are you going to get that type of offense out of? I mean, is Josh Naylor going to be able to, do this throughout the whole season? He hasn't been hitting bad. Again, a lot of these guys haven't been hitting.
No.
Terrible.
Perdomo, Suarez, Naylor, like Corbin Carroll's obviously a stud. He's had a really solid year. I think that's the problem. I think your hill is too steep to climb because Corbin Burns goes down now. If Corbin Burns goes down 2 months ago, you kind of got a shot at next year. But Corbin Burns is out all of next year. I mean, does this contract go down as, I'm not going to say it's going down as one of the worst contracts ever because you don't know. You can't tell that a guy's going to, I could sit here and tell you that the Garrett Cole deal is terrible because he's having Tommy John. I'm not saying that, but you're not going to get Corbin Burns back till 2026. And he's going to be 34 after Tommy John. Like, what does that look like? Are you going to Verlander it or are you going to adios into the sunset? I worry that this incarnation that we saw of the Arizona Diamondbacks, which is a really fun team who put up a hell of a fight 2 years ago against the Rangers in the World Series. I'm worried that sell. Trade everyone you got. You got Corbin Carroll, lean on him, and trade everyone else around him.
Well, again,
restart.
For this team, their offense has been good this year. It's just a matter of like, you have not been able to keep runners on base and not let them score. You have given up the third most runs in the National League. And now you have lost not only your ace, but you've lost a second starting pitcher. So you're going to have to do a whole, maybe platoon thing, like where maybe you're doing clopeners. Like it's already been rough on your pitching as is now, and you've lost 2 guys, and now you're going to have to ask for the pitchers that have not been great to be better and your offense to essentially sustain bad pitching. And which you've kind of done at moments this year, but you're going to have to do it for even more so the rest of the year.
I like Torey Lovullo. I think this is too steep of a hill to climb.
That's why too. Are the Diamondbacks a bad team?
No.
Are they good enough to make the playoffs and to be able to sustain what has happened to them last week?
No.
And, it sucks because, exactly.
And he's going to get fired next year when they win, 60 games.
We're 2 years removed from them being in the World Series, but
Yeah.
I just think that you're right. It's that they might chug along and might be keeping things competitive for a while, but as far as just being just an arm length away from being in the wild card race, I feel like that's how it's going to play out. Like they finished the season 10 games under 500.
Hey, did you guys know the White Sox were sold? I'm just joking, but kind of not. Loaded second hour. Don't go anywhere. Hot Corner, today the Fan.
No time for a traditional in-ground vegetable
Welcome to the second hour of the Hot Corner. You're missing the first hour. You can download that, the Fan Podcast, at 1080thefan.com, wherever you get your podcasts, including places that rhyme with San Diego's up 4-0 on the Dodgers-ify. If that's where you want to go. We'll have fair or foul at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, as we always do. Plus, in 15 minutes, we got an intriguing candidate who has said yes to the home run derby. And maybe we'll throw a little bit MVP talk in that as well. But I'd like to start here. Something that's been fascinating to me in all of sports is kind of how much focus has been put on ownership of said teams, right? Mark Cuban, known as a passionate basketball guy in the Texas area, gets his Dallas Mavericks to win an NBA Finals against LeBron. Greatest player in their franchise history, Dirk Nowitzki, makes it happen. Jason Kidd playing point guard, one of my favorite point guards of all time, with a ragtag bunch of dudes that were really good to win a Finals. Then you slide over to like the Steve Ballmers, who's got money, who clearly loves basketball, but the Clippers are an absolute disaster. You look at the Dan Snyders of the world, you look at the Donald Sterlings of the world, you look all, Jerry Jones for that matter, of the pluses and the minuses, the Rooneys in Pittsburgh. You kind of see where ownership lies, and it came across, I'm curious how this goes. It came across the other day that Justin Ishbia, who is the brother of, what's his name? Matt, yeah, who owns the Phoenix Suns, he is in agreement with Jerry Reinsdorf that in a few years he will eventually take over majority control of the Chicago White Sox. Now, you don't become a billionaire because you're bad at business. So I give Ishbia a lot of credit to buy low. Buy low, buy low. But I'm interested if this is something, because let's be real, Matt Ishbia in Phoenix, what we're hearing down there, the Bradley Beal trade, the future of Kevin Durant, the Phoenix Suns fans were extremely excited about Matt Ishbia taking over there, and that kind of blew up real quick. There's semi-reports that Matt's money short. He's cashless. So he's got the money, but he's broke. I'm curious as to why this moment is happening with Reinsdorf, who seems to never want to sell anything that he's a part of, the Bulls, the White Sox. Is this just my other brother sucks and I'll be better? Or are we in for... If you're a White Sox fan, are we in for another 30 years of rough White Sox life?
I'll give you a stat that, and I'll throw the number out at you, and maybe you'll be able to guess what it is. 89.
You are now about to witness the strength of street.
The number is 89.
89.
Yeah, can you guess what that number derives from? What that comes from?
89.
Schultz, you got to stab at it. Where is this 89 number coming from?
It beats me, man.
It's the age of Jerry Reinsdorf's old ass. And also, Jerry Reinsdorf, who was a questionable sports team owner during his more sentient, coherent years of age.
I mean, let's remember, Jerry Reinsdorf, during the Bulls' heyday, nobody liked Reinsdorf. Nobody liked the GM. Nobody liked the front office. It was all Michael.
There's part of me that thinks the Ishbia brothers are just a bunch of hustlers.
I mean, that's kind of how they made their money.
And yeah, especially
it's
right
like
now.
Steve Cohen in New York. It's like, dope. My owner's worth billions. Let's do this. And it's like, well, do you know how he made those billions?
Well, and also, let's keep in mind.
Do you want to be the president of the United States of America? Do you know how that guy made his billions?
Well, like the Suns owner recently had to sell the team because he was under fire because of all the sexual harassment allegations.
The bad culture and
So, here comes Matt Ishbia, the knight in shining armor, and he's like, I'll buy your team.
Money.
And I'll spend it here and there. And
Getting
then
higgy with it.
now they're finding out, they're like, dude, he doesn't really have a whole lot of liquid cash.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of liquid
And now he's kind of
assets here.
talking about, I need to be more hands-on on the team.
Yeah, as if he wasn't already.
Yeah, and whenever I hear an owner say, we've had a bad culture, I need to be more hands-on, I'm like, bro,
Everybody's like, oh,
you are so disconnected from the real world. You know what you need? You know who you need to run the culture of your team? Me, all right? Little old douche that lives in Vancouver, Washington, that has a stupid baseball show. Let me tell you how to do the culture in your team.
Again, they bought part of the team earlier this year, which, got by my radar. I guess I just didn't notice it. But as soon as I saw this news the other day, and with the news of what Matt is going through and the Suns and everything, and it's too late because they already sold part of the team and it looks like he's going to take over. I would not want anything to do with the Ishbias at all.
Yeah, is this
as
where
far as owning the team?
Is this where we are that now, because we live in a world, I don't want to get political or really even economical in that aspect. There are so many people in today's society that have made millions, even encroaching on billions of dollars, doing things that a lot of us regular people don't really understand. And does that make them good owners? And I think we're starting to see the building blocks that the answer is no. That, yeah, the Suns owner, I saw on some Reddit posts, wow, we went from an owner who had no idea what he was doing to an owner who's broke. Is that where that is? It's like you feel like the money up front is great, but it's not real money. Like Steve Cohen is a hedge fund. I don't want to break down what hedge funds are, but that's a lot of moving money to make money to, how much money is Elon Musk actually worth? Nobody knows. And these are the kind of guys that are starting to enter into owning sports teams.
That's one reason why I think the Ishbia family you hear once again. So Matt Ishbia already in with the Suns. The whole Ishbia family doesn't just own the Suns. They own the Mercury. They own a soccer team as well. And
Nashville, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, essentially all over sports, you
Nashville
see the
FC?
fingerprint. And then there's the current owner or small minority owner, the Sacramento Kings right now. He's part of that family that just bought the Portland Thorns a couple of years ago. And people are mentioning, since that money's already in the NBA, would that be maybe a setup for him or his family to place a bid on the Portland Trailblazers? I'm wondering if these teams are now costing so much that these guys like Ishbia's bro, where you're maybe not sure where the money came from, but they've got a lot of it, are going to just be continued to kind of offered to like this same crowd of people that's already involved in other sports. They've already been vetted. You know what I mean? It just seems like the easy play at this point. So I don't know. And Ishbia, they could still get burned because there's not necessarily a guarantee in this deal for Reinsdorf to sell, right? Like they could stretch this out to 2035. And then Ishbia could be screwed because there was still in this said, there is no guarantee to sell.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like I look at it like I'm a Liverpool fan, right? They're owned by FSG, Fenway Sports Group. John Hart, John Henry, excuse me. John Henry owns the Red Sox, FSG Racing, and Liverpool FC. And for years it was like, we don't have money to spend. We don't have money to spend. Our owner won't spend money. We hate our owner, but at least he's not a Glazer, blah, 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 blah. You win the league, and we just bought a guy from Germany for 150 million euros. And you're like, whoa, where did that come from? And it's like, well, this was a good business decision. So now we look about all these years where I'm looking at Liverpool saying, why aren't we spending money? We're not competing with Chelsea and Man City and United, etc. How are we not going to do this? It's because the Fenway Group actually spent money the way they were supposed to. We're in an NBA Finals. We're in the Paul George NBA Finals. And guess who's not playing in the NBA Finals? Paul George or the team he plays for, or the team he last played for. So I think I think, Jordan, I think you get to something fascinating about this. I think being a rich owner who is quote unquote cash flow and ready to do something, doesn't necessarily mean you make this work. So if you're a White Sox fan, are you starting to think, maybe I want Reinsdorf to hold on to this, Joe? Like, maybe I want Reinsdorf to hold on to it?
Well, no. I
I mean,
think
no,
yeah.
obviously. But is my evil better than your evil in this case?
I mean, I guess the one saving grace with the Ishbias is that, and this is using the example of the Suns, is they weren't afraid to spend money.
No.
And go big right
No.
away.
Bradley Beal, Booker.
And in baseball, that works.
It works.
It
works.
It's much different than the NBA where you're then in salary cap hell.
Look,
First
the
apron,
Mets a
second
month
apron.
ago look a lot worse than the Mets do right now.
So if that is the
You
saving
can spend money in
grace.
baseball.
And not really, the only penalty is that you spend money on a guy and he doesn't perform, a la Angels.
Yeah.
And everybody they've spent money on, it seems like over the last few years.
Rendon.
So that is the one saving grace, whereas you're not going to get cheap owners. But also, I don't know if, because their money's kind of all tied together, the Ishbias, because they, like, what is it? I think Justin has 22% of what the article I was saying, 22% in the company that Matt owns, and they're kind of in business together. Is this one of those, like, I'm going to buy the team so I can make money and then not spend money? That is something I worry about.
That's your worst case scenario.
Yeah.
See
And
John Stanton and the Seattle Mariners.
yeah, it's like, I'm going to own this
Pittsburgh,
team because
anybody.
owning a
Baltimore.
baseball team, the return on investment on that, owning a sports franchise, the return
It's
on
a
investment.
business and not a hobby.
Yeah.
You want guys that want it as a hobby. Steinbrenner wanted it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Cuban wanted it as a hobby.
So
Paul Allen, for the most part, wanted it as a hobby.
Well, and the thing with baseball, again, was we find out pretty quickly if you are an owner that's willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll find out if once the sale goes final. And as Jordan mentioned, like, the option to sell the team, like, this can drag out for a few more years. Like, they have like an agreement in principle. Exactly. I just had this damn.
Would you
article
rather,
up.
real quick, we'll get out on this. Would
Yeah.
you rather have your team owned by an Ishbia or Jody Allen?
Oh, I would probably take an Ishbia at this point.
Just because you never know. It's better than what I got.
So from 29 to 33, Reinsdorf will have the option to sell the controlling interest to Ishbia. After the 2034 season, Ishbia would have the option to acquire it. So this can still drag out for a few more years. But the way that's all
But the
sounding
moral of the
is-
story is by 2034, he's going to be able to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if the Ishbias do better in Major League Baseball than they have in the NBA. And we'll see, what are these hotshot young kids with money, if they can actually run a sports franchise. When we come back, do we already have the odds-on favorite for the Home Run Derby? And could this be a good thing, or is this a really bad thing? That's Joe Fisher next to me. Behind the glass is Schultze on the ones and twos. This is the Hot Corner, Portland Sports Leader, 1080 The Fan.
The Definitive Podcast. This is the Hot Corner with Harrison Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
Ball 4. Ball 8. Low, and Vaughn has walked the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches. Boy, how can these guys lay off pitches that close?
Fair or foul coming up here in the next 10 minutes. Do it every single Tuesday at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. Schultz in charge of that bad boy. I'm watching Padres Dodgers right now. 5-0. Bases loaded.
Dude, you wouldn't believe what's on the TV behind your
For the
head
Pods.
right now.
Oh, let's play this game. I have no idea. Okay.
It's,
Give me some hints.
It's Padres Dodgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn it, Joe.
That's-
Dude, we've been doing this for a long time, man. I thought you were setting me up for something cool.
It's a good matchup.
Damn it, Joe.
What else would I have on here?
Dear Diary.
College baseball? That's not real baseball.
Dear Diary, I hate Joe.
Dear Diary, I don't know why Patrick hates me so much. All I do is try to open his mind to the greatness that is college baseball.
And a cascade of boos rained down from the stands.
Like I said, fair or foul coming up in about 10 minutes.
Something tells me he's not a real American.
But we got, oh, baby. Oh, baby. I'm not going down that road.
If you would have seen the things I just partook in Vegas, you'd know I'm a full-blooded American.
Full-blooded American.
Pretty sure you
America.
You were at the Dave Matthews Gorge concert for like 10 years running. If that doesn't make you American, I don't know
Correct
what
that. 20.
Thank you. There
Thank
you
you.
go. Even further made my point.
Thank you.
Apple pie and freaking hot dogs.
And acid at the Gorge.
We have our first participant, as they say in Francais.
I haven't seen this.
Of the home run derby. Cal Raleigh
Oh, he did.
has come out and said that he would die to play in the home run derby.
So this isn't official, like
No.
Okay.
But Cal Raleigh is on record as the major league leader in home runs, that he will participate in the home run derby.
Dude, major league leader in home runs. This team must be playing pretty good.
We have heard one guy say he's in. The guy who is behind him, who's clearly not as good as him,
Behind the
Aaron
big
Judge,
jumper.
has said he will not participate in the home run derby unless it's in New York City.
What a bitch.
Did he really?
That is a shameless plug.
Wait, did
for
he?
the-
Did
Yeah.
he really say
Oh
that?
yeah, he said unless it's in New York, I won't do it.
That is what a bitch.
That is kind of a D move.
He's also a Yankee captain.
I don't
So
care.
nobody faults him for it. But Cal Raleigh has made his intentions known, similar to all of us and any person you know of that wants a job here at 10 of the Fan, that he has decided to put his name in for the home run derby, and they're going to pick him. Cal Raleigh would be fantastic.
He's going to be in the home
Now,
run derby.
of anybody, so Judge is out. Shohei is not going to do it. Okay, so we know he hasn't said it, or maybe he did say it. No Shohei, no Judge.
Well, that's stupid already.
Cal Raleigh, is there anybody else in Major League Baseball you would take over Cal Raleigh in a home run derby?
That I would take, to
Like
win?
if they signed up and were like, I'll do the home run derby, you'd be like, I like him more than Cal.
I like his odds.
Kyle Schwarber is real high on the list.
He's-
He might be my number one.
I mean, he's gotten more athletic too. He used to be like chubby guy, but now he has. I would definitely say he has what it
but he
takes
ain't
to go
got
the
that
distance.
ass. He ain't got that ass.
Wouldn't it be very home run derby-esque for Eugenio Suarez to win it?
Oh, I would. I think you're spot on, Joe. I think Eugenio would be fantastic in a home
It'd
run
be
derby.
very much like we have these stars like Pete Alonso, Pete Crow Armstrong, Cal Raleigh leading the league number, and here's Eugenio Suarez, our
who
junior
hit 75,000 home runs.
Junior Camanaro's your winner.
You mean like
You know-
Teoscar Hernandez winning it last year?
You know.
Yes.
I think you're onto something here with Eugenio. Pete Alonso will do it. He's a two-time winner, three-time
Has
winner.
to. He's two-time.
Two-time winner. Pete Alonso's going to do it because Pete, it's kind of his thing. He loves it. So Pete Alonso will do it. Cal Raleigh, I would love to see Eugenio in it. Kyle Schwarber, I would love to see Schwarber. I don't think he will. I think he comes across to me as a guy that's like, I do what I do here. I'm gonna pass.
I want Bryce in it. Bryce Harper. I
Oh
know he
man,
hasn't
I want
led the
Bryce in it
league.
so bad.
Yeah,
Well,
but I would love to watch.
I want Bryce in it like I wanted Ichiro in it
Damn
back
right.
in the day.
Oh my God,
I want Bryce. I want Bryce.
Well, here's the thing: is that I'm looking at like the home run leaders. Is they always have someone who it's like, yeah, I guess he isn't one of the leaders in home runs this year, but he's a name, and he has enough home runs where he's in like the top 50.
like Adolis Garcia.
Well, I'm looking right now. It's like, and I know that Jose
tell me some
Ramirez
names.
is a part.
No, Jose's done it. He's
like,
terrible at
L.A.
it.
De La Cruz has 12 home runs this year. Technically top 50, technically top 30 in the league.
I mean, you want Ellie in because he's a name.
Yes,
But I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if he'd be good at it.
But that's again, I'm just saying that dudes where it's a name and he has enough home runs to where you're gonna be like, let's just give him the invite. We need some eyeballs.
Can we
on the
embarrass
event.
Rafi Devers more? Can we put Rafi Devers in it?
That was another name in here. He's got 14 home runs on the year. Where it's like, well,
What about
we
PCA?
could justify that.
PCA. Well, I don't know. He's not really a long ball hitter. He's
Yes.
having an MVP type season.
He's got 17 home runs.
I
this year.
understand
where
that.
I think
I understand that. He's having an MVP type season, but
current year.
I don't know. I'd rather watch Yandy Diaz in a home run derby than PCA.
Oh, come on.
Stop.
I would.
Everybody would want to see PCA. He's such a
I think
fan
Yandy
favorite
Diaz
right
is a
now.
better home run hitter than PCA.
You don't want to fight like a crow, Pete Crow Armstrong.
PCA is good though.
What about Torkelson?
Torkelson.
For the Tigers.
Excellent. I
Because he had
want
a comeback
I
season
want
last
Javi
year.
Baez in this. Give me Javi Baez.
Whoa, that's a little.
Kerry Carpenter. Give me like 3 Tigers players.
Give me Logan O'Hoppe.
You think Lindor
Logan
would do it?
O'Hoppe, Kyron Paris,
Lindor, Francisco.
Frankie,
Get him on the list. Babe.
switch hit, do the Rutch. Do the Rutschman. It's still a top 5 home
I
run
want to
derby
see Tyler
moment of all time.
Soderstrom get in there.
I would watch that.
Oh,
I would watch that.
Soderstrom.
My
Yeah, the
A's,
A's,
my
yeah.
A's, my A's that suck.
I was going
but
to say,
my
you
A's.
should probably
Stop
delegate
saying
that
my
team
A's.
to someone else
stop
at this
saying.
point.
Rops A's. Isaac Rops Athletics.
O'Neal Cruz, maybe?
No, I mean, I get it. I get the kids. I get the name, like wanting the names in. But I want guys
Cal's
that-
going to be in it.
Like
Let's just
Max
say that.
Muncy would be a great home run derby participant.
Now, I'm
Like the young one?
curious.
No, the now one. And the young one.
Why not?
Why not both?
I'm curious if you can bet on home run derby winners.
Participants?
No,
Who
winners.
would? Oh,
No,
winners?
Winners
Oh, I'm sure you can.
before it's even out.
Oh,
no.
no.
Like,
No.
again, like they don't have the,
No, I'm sure those turn on once they know the field.
Wouldn't it be cool though if like you're in like May and just some dudes leaving?
You know,
like,
and
dude, I'm hedging. I'm going for
a
it.
future bet. They haven't announced where the 2031 All-Star game is, but you're like, I bet it's in New York. I'll put 20 down on Judge.
Dude, you can gamble on anything. Why wouldn't you be able
I'll
to?
put 20 down on Judge, and you're
What-
like, wow. If it is in New York in 2031 and he does participate and wins, that will pay you out $675,342.
Why shouldn't you be able to bet on home run derby winners before the field is announced? If anything, that's more money for Vegas, more money
agree.
for the books,
I
right?
agree.
Like, come on.
I think I put my money on Cal Raleigh, though.
If I can bet on Bronny James to win Rookie of the Year,
Before he's drafted?
20,000.
Before he's drafted?
yeah, or
Before he's drafted?
I'm sure that there were some books.
I want to know. If you could do it before he's drafted, then you're right, Joe.
I'm putting the ticket in.
It's an
automatic lock. Call my number.
What do they do with the boys in the morning? I'm laying the big wood.
Yeah.
They don't have that guy on anymore, do they?
No, I don't think it was legal.
What was his name?
I don't think it was like legal for
He
him.
had
to
to-
be
No,
on
he
there.
just quit his job. It
Who
wasn't
was
about
the
legal.
betting guy
He
they
quit
had
his
on?
job.
On Dirt and Sprague. I
Oh,
liked
he
him
was
a lot.
so good, but yeah, he basically he
was
was
really
so
good.
good at sports betting that he decided to quit his job.
Quit
and
his
just go
job and
do
be
it.
a sports bettor.
No, you're thinking of two different people here. There's, oh my God, there was the guy who was on the BetQL network. I'm
No, it
spacing
was
his name.
It was before we had BetQL.
I know. Jordan's thinking of the
That's
guy
who I'm thinking of.
of who was on the BetQL
Oh, I'm thinking about the
network.
guy before.
Yes, the dude that
The
they
golf
would-
club bets.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
I like
But
that
I
guy a
think
lot.
at the end, why there was legality issues is because he would promote his betting. Go to my website.
Hammerlock of the day.
First 2 picks are free.
You may have never seen the Diamondbacks, but I have.
Los Angeles versus New York. I love this bet. I went
And you're
10-0
like, is
last
it the
week.
Angels or the Mets? Like,
I love the vagueness of those, where it's just like, Man, I'm watching MLB tonight. I love the action.
All right, well, I'm throwing a 20 spot on Cal Raleigh to win this. When we come back, it's fair or foul, everybody's favorite. But first, we'll toss it to Schultz with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, the Seattle Mariners struggling 3-7 in their last 10, in action right now in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. They're in game 2 of a 3-game set. Arizona top 6 leading 4-2, but Rowdy Tellez making a dent in the last couple of minutes. His 10th home run of the season. Arozarena before that also hitting a solo shot as well for back-to-back jacks. And he got J.P. Crawford at the plate right now. Runner on second. Obviously could tie it up there with his own 2-run bomb. On to the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup Finals. Both off tonight. The NBA resuming tomorrow with Game 3 in Indy. Action on the ice between the Oilers and Panthers gets going with Game 4 in Miami on Thursday. And in college football, Lake Ridge star edge rusher Noah Tischendorf flipping his commitment from Oregon State to West Virginia. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan shows on the Odyssey. Is it fair or is it foul?
Fastball tapped at the plate. It'll trickle down the third baseline. The Mariners are going to let it roll.
A knowledge test to see how well they know the big leagues.
Lenny Randall gets down on his hands and knees and blows on it like a curler, and it goes foul.
And what our distinguished hosts think about the stories that popped up around the big leagues.
But he got down on his hands and knees and literally blew the ball across the foul line.
This is Fair or Foul on the Hot Corner on 1080 The Fan.
Just a reminder, fans, about Die Hard Night coming up here at the stadium. Free admission to anyone who was actually alive the last time the Indians won a pennant.
You know, fortunately, that is me. I have been alive for 3 pennants for my wonderful franchise. We ain't winning a pennant this year, I'll tell you that. Fair or foul? Tribe wins a pennant this year. That is a hard foul. Without further ado, we turn over this favorite segment we do every single Tuesday at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. Jordan Schultz.
Oh, your baseball fandom is better than mine, bro. I literally watched the Dodgers in person clinch a division title before I've ever seen the Mariners do so.
I've never seen the Orioles win a pennant.
You know, I watched Major League 1 and 2 the other night in opposite order. I watched 2 and then 1.
I love that. No, I love that.
That's 2 division titles and 1 pennant.
There you go.
They did not win the pennant in 1. They win the pennant in 2.
Yeah, I wonder if they had to shoot those scenes in slow motion with any other runners.
I did learn in Major League 1, the ballpark is in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Major League 2, the ballpark is Camden Yards.
Isn't that
before a huge upgrade.
It's a great ballpark.
But I remember I was watching the beginning of Major League 2, and there was like a home run or something going on in right field, and I was like, that building, that looks like Camden Yards. And then I looked it up, and sure enough, Camden Yards.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, let's do this. Try to stump you a couple of times here. Looks like we've got some time. Let's start off with all the rage, the home runs. We talked about Cal Raleigh. I love this, publicly stating that he wants to be in the home run derby. I wish more players...
You have to.
Yeah, I want them to come out and do that more. I love that.
I think
Atlanta, are you ready for the big dumper?
Oh, is that where we are this year? Are we in Atlanta?
Is it Atlanta?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, let's go.
The stadium's gorgeous.
Obviously, Cal Raleigh leading the league in home runs with 26. Aaron Judge following him up, though, being a bitch.
He had
saying
one today that I don't know if it's landed yet.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a home run in all 30 parks.
That's a big dong.
Big dumper and a big dong. So a lot of dongs from these two guys. Really funny, though, looking at the stats, especially teams at the bottom of the league as far as home runs per team. So check this out, guys. Fair or foul. Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge combined have more home runs as individuals than 3 teams in Major League Baseball. Cal and Aaron have more home runs combined than 3 teams.
I think that's 26 plus 23.
I'll give you 24, 50 total.
50
3
total.
teams. I'm trying to think of what those teams would be. I'm guessing the Rangers would be one of them.
What is Colorado Rockies?
That is actually incorrect. I will tell you right now.
Colorado Rockies are incorrect. Okay.
Not the
on
Rockies.
that.
He said the Rangers. They're actually 17th in the league in home runs right now.
You know what? I'm going to throw out my Cleveland Guardians. We got 3-hit shutout today. And I'm pretty sure all 3 of those hits were Jose Ramirez.
Dude, quite honestly, I might throw out my Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, dude. Like, our teams suck, Joe. Our
Orioles
teams suck really bad.
They do not hit a lot of dongs at all. In fact, I think the most dongs...
My team doesn't hit, let alone over the fence.
Dude,
I'm going fair.
You know,
I'm going fair, and I'm throwing the tribe out there.
I'm going fair, and I'm parlaying this. I'm going fair, and I'm throwing the Orioles into this.
The Cleveland Guardians right below the Rangers at 19th overall, 67 home runs to the Rangers 68.
19th overall?
Yes. And
how many teams are there? 16?
30, buddy.
Oh, there's 30.
And the Orioles
Did they expand?
Orioles
Yeah, we got uniforms and everything.
The Orioles are actually higher at 12th with 71. So
Oh, my God.
They're hitting
Joe,
bombs, but they just suck.
I guess
other
our
than that.
crappy teams aren't as crappy as we think they are.
Well-
We forget we're not Marlins fans.
Take the long ball,
we got
right?
a couple series wins under our belt here recently, so, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna-
I got
I'm not-
3. I got 3 hit shutout to the Cincinnati Reds. Name 5 people on that team.
Oh, my God. Continue on, Schultze, but I'm looking at the list right now.
No, you're good. It is actually foul. So Cal Raleigh, you guys, I said 3. Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge combined have more home runs as individuals than 2 teams in Major League Baseball. That would be 1 at the bottom of the barrel, the Kansas City Royals with 45.
Ouch.
And then the Pittsburgh Pirates with 48.
Yeah, we
the
should've
White
thought that.
Sox are next up with 53.
53.
Marlins, Rockies, 55. The Padres, surprisingly, 56.
I know, they're low on that list. It's weird.
How about that?
Slam Diego. More like outfield single Diego.
More like strikeout Diego.
Dude, you cooked their ass right there. Get some aloe vera for that one.
You could tell you and I have kids, dude, because you just cooked me.
My God. Just torched them.
Got cooked.
Got cooked.
All right, guys. Farrell foul number 2. One more trying to stump you. The Detroit Tigers have been so good this season. Crazy. They could finish with one of the best records or the best record in Major League Baseball, guys. And they are setting new heights for their franchise as well. Fair or foul, the Detroit Tigers are 20 games over 500 for the first time since 2013. Fair or foul?
2013, they went to the World Series and lost to the Cardinals. I believe that's David Freese, if my memory serves me correct.
The 2013 World Series was the Sox and Cardinals.
The Red Sox Cardinals, and Red Sox won. Damn it, what am I thinking of?
That was the...
What's David Freese? 11? Because it's Giants 10, 12, 13, 14.
Might be 11.
It was the year before, 2012. There you go.
On pace for the best record since 2013?
Wait, fair or foul, they're 20 games.
Over 500 for the first time since 2013.
Gotcha,
So
okay.
they're really good for the first time in a long time. But
So this would put him at, like, I mean, we are That would be like 46 and 26, 45 and 25, somewhere around there. I know that they just won a series against the Cubs.
They're good.
They just beat the Orioles today.
They're good.
I'm gonna say this is fair.
I'm with JoJo over here. I think it's fair too. I think this team is the best team they've seen since they went to the World Series.
Guys, nailed it. It is absolutely fair. The Detroit Tigers, first time in 12 years that they are 20 games over 500.
Nah, we ain't taking that.
They went 93 and 69 in the final year of Jim Leyland's career, highlighted by such names as Prince Fielder, Torrey Hunter, Miguel Cabrera, Johnny Peralta.
Have you ever been to a volcano?
So, and actually, notable Prince Fielder played 162 games that season.
Dude, he was good.
He
was
played
good for
the
Detroit.
most games than anybody else besides Victor Martinez of the starting
You
lineup.
got to remember, Prince Fielder made his bones in Detroit and got paid in Texas. He wasn't.
true.
He was bad in Texas. He wasn't bad in Detroit.
25 homers, 106 ribbies, batting 280
That's
that
a big
season.
boy. I like a big boy.
Big
I'm
boy.
a big boy.
I remember the
Just ask free school. She knows I'm a big boy.
I remember the ESPN magazine with Prince Fielder, the body issue, butt naked in there.
Oh, that's right. He looked kind of good. You know, it's like that Lizzo album cover. You know, she's like, "Yo, I'm a big girl. You know, I'm
not
naked
anymore.
on this album cover."
Do you see how
And you
thin
kind of
she is
look
now?
at it and you're like, you know what, Lizzo, you do look kind of good.
On a complete random note, during when it happened, you know when they let her play like Benjamin Franklin's flute or whatever it was?
Yeah.
During that moment, I was just like, I don't know if I'm
Made
cool
the
with.
Republicans real mad.
Well, I was just like, I don't know if I'm entirely cool with that. And then years later came out and she apparently was a complete a-hole and absolutely terrible to the people that worked on tour. And I'm like, I feel a bit vindicated here now. We should have let her play this flute.
And I'm one of those people that I don't think Gandhi should be able to touch Benjamin Franklin's flute. You know, just like let that be. Let that be
the flute
Franklin.
be the
let
flute.
the flute be the flute.
Leave it in
Unless
the
it's
museum.
Andre 3000's new record, then I'm in.
The Wu-Tang Clan album.
It was
that,
James Madison's flute.
Okay, Wu-Tang. All right, now,
Well, it wasn't
now,
that- it
now
was
it's
that-
over. Wu-Tang gets to do whatever they want.
It was that. I'm just thinking of the Wu-Tang Clan album that Martin Shkreli bought. That.
Oh yeah,
Farmer Bro or
he's
whatever.
the only one that
Yeah.
knows what that album
He's
is.
the only one that's heard
How
it.
did he not leak that? Come on, bro.
I think that there are leaks out there, but Wu-Tang went after them, and they have been removed because that's the whole idea. It's like it was sold to one person.
I want to hear that Wu-Tang album.
Damn right. All right,
For the
guys.
children.
Somebody else that probably wants to hear that Wu-Tang album.
Jason Swigard?
Also, yes.
Lady Swigard?
No. Bryce Harper. We were talking about wanting him to be in the home run derby. It would be an absolute show. Obviously, a star player, former MVP. That's the kind of guy you want in the home run derby every single season. Hell, I would love to see him year after
Ben
year
Sheets.
competing in the home run
Totally
derby.
in.
Hitting a lot of home runs in his career, 345, guys. Fair or foul? He's 32 years old. Bryce Harper will hit 500 home runs.
I'll
Fair
take
or
I'll
foul?
take this first. I'll take this first because I am the resident. We've been doing this show for 10 years. It started with me and Voldemort. Voldemort was on the ones and twos, and I sat over here. Then we found this young, up and prosperous kid named Joseph Fisher III. And throughout those entire year, once Voldemort left and it became me and Joe, and we grabbed Schultze, I have been on the record of saying that Bryce Harper is one of my least favorite players in the history of Major League Baseball. I find him arrogant. I find him over cocky. And I will say, absolutely fair, Bryce Harper will hit 500 home runs. In fact, I think Bryce Harper might be one of the last players we see hit 500. I think it's him and Trout. I think the both of them will skate through. I don't think either of them are hitting 600. I would be shocked if either of them hit over 550. But yes, I think Bryce Harper will hit over 500 home runs, booking his first ballot Hall of Fame ticket that I would vote yes on to Bryce Harper. Look, I may not like Bryce. He may drive me absolutely bonkers. But boy, that guy was born to play baseball. I say fair.
Sorry, I was still looking at stuff about Lizzo playing that flute. What was the fair foul?
Bryce Harper has 320 home runs.
345.
345. Will he hit 500? He's 32.
God, he only has 345.
He's in contract till
That's-
38.
I mean, that's actually a lot for somebody his age.
I feel like
It's not for somebody who started at 18.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's
Okay,
been
fair.
in the. I feel like he's
Fair.
been in the majors for the last 15 years.
He has. Remember, every time he leaves a team, they win a World Series?
It's true. I feel like he would have been at least
he only did that once, but it is 100% of the time.
You said 325 is what he's at right now?
345.
45?
150 home runs at 32?
What is that, 7 years, 23 home runs, 22 home runs a year?
Yeah, I'd say fair that he gets to it. But I felt like he would have been at least a little bit closer to 400 by now.
Bryce,
he has been in the league forever.
It's funny. Bryce and Mike will always be connected to each other.
Literally,
they
when
always
was his
will.
first season? Like 2007?
They're the same draft. They're rookies the same time, winning MVPs at the same time. They will be connected forever. These two are going to be of that generation of the insane talent that have the records and no titles.
All right,
look, if Bryce doesn't win a World Series in the next 2 years in Philly, it ain't going to happen.
He's only been in the league since 2012, so I'll stand corrected.
He's what?
He's been in the league since 2012, so I stand corrected there.
We're looking at almost 15 years.
Well, I mean, this is the 13th year, or 14th. Math, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Joe, not 15. 14?
I'm counting.
Pay no attention while we diss.
God, this is hurting. So this is his 14th season. Let's also keep in mind, one of those seasons was abbreviated by 2/3.
One of the seasons was COVID. He also had Tommy John a year. Bryce is going to hit 500 home runs. Name me any other player in baseball right now that's going to hit 500 home runs.
I mean, you said maybe Trout, but I think
Maybe
he's
Trout.
too injured.
Outside of Trout and Harper, name me a young kid. Okay? Any of those young kids you think? Aaron Judge, he will hit 500 home runs. But he's 34, and he's going to have to hit 40 for the next 5 years to do it.
Stanton right now is the leader in active players.
Stanton
with home
might
runs.
never hold a bat again.
He's at 429.
He might never hold a bat again.
What about Freddie Freeman?
Trout is next.
Freeman's looking at 3,000 hits. He doesn't care about 500 home runs.
Trout is next at 388, and he's 33 years old.
Trout can do it. 120, he can do it.
112, to be exact.
Joe, damn it.
Goldschmidt will not do it. He's 37. Freeman will not do it. He's 35. Manny Machado.
Nope.
Manny Machado's at 352, and he's 32 years old.
Doesn't he seem older than 32?
Well,
Doesn't Machado seem older than 32?
Well, kind of the same ilk as Harper is that he's been in the league forever also.
He came in really, really young.
Yeah.
Juan Soto's already at 212, and he's 26. That's probably
Juan
one
Soto
of the best.
has 212 home runs. Whoa.
212. Devers at 214. He's 28 though.
Devers can kick rocks.
Well,
Nobody
because he's in Boston. If somebody
If he
spends
stays
their whole
in
career
Boston-
in the cracker box of Boston under the New York Yankees,
Short Port, Chapo Taco,
Yeah.
the big wall. Yeah. God, I hate Devers. I told you
81
we're not talking
games.
about Red Sox on this show.
Sorry, it's banned.
Sorry,
My bad.
Cooley. I know you're my boss, but I
Well-
don't want to talk about your stupid team.
Devers and Soto are 1 and 2 as far as players under the age of 30 with the most home runs. Devers is 28. He's got 214.
Anybody behind them of note?
Soto is 26 with 212, and the next with Cody Bellinger's 29 and has 205.
Ronald Acuna. That would be the next up at 27 with 170 home runs.
Yeah, but let's talk question marks galore with Acuna.
Yeah, it's fair.
Well, I don't think it's not going to happen.
Do you think Bryce Harper and Mike Trout are the last guys to hit Soto? And then what happens after Soto? Roman Anthony.
I mean,
Cal Raleigh.
This is a lot of late 20s, early 30s guys with not a lot of home runs.
Henry Ford.
Well, it's just a matter of longevity. It's like, well, longevity and that sustained power, and it's like, so who do you think is going to, like, is Machado going to be able to give you 148 home runs?
I don't think so.
Over the next 6 seasons?
Yeah. It's so funny. I can't believe he's that old. I thought he was older.
We skipped right over Matt Olson. He's 31 with 273. He'll probably hit 400, not 5, though.
No, I don't think he'll get to 5. Love Matt Olson.
Love him.
That's my first one.
What about Ohtani?
Matt Olson is...
Ohtani is 30 years old, and he has 248.
I mean, if he continues...
I mean, if he had 4 seasons of 50, that's 200. What's 200 plus what you got there?
448.
That's
448?
At 34.
So another season?
Pete Alonso is 30 years old, 243.
Nope. Too old.
I think, okay, so I add Ohtani
Too
to the list.
old?
I think he can do it.
He's
Ohtani?
Ohtani.
Showtani?
I mean, 10 years of 27 homers for him.
That guy's overrated.
The fact that Pete Alonso is 30 years old, I would have never guessed. If you would have asked me before the show how old is Pete Alonso, I would have said 33, 34.
Dude, if you asked me how old Manny Machado was, I'd be like 38.
No, he came in at 18, 19 too. He was.
And that's what I forget. That's what I mean. I forget.
No, totally.
All right, that is Fair or Foul. We do it every single Tuesday at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. When we come back, we'll wrap up shop. This is the Hot Corner. Portland Sports Leader, 1080 The Fan.
It's back. Your local Toyota dealers present the 11th annual It's always baseball season. This is the Hot Corner with Harrison Fisher on 1080 The Fan.
Hello, my friends, for it's time to go. You know what I was thinking? What if
Shabba-dibba-doo, Robert Goulet.
Shamalama Ding Dong, Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong. You know how we always talk about how a lot of us never get to see each other?
Oh, Bighorn, you're hungry.
Dude, why? We should be in a softball league.
Dude,
yes.
Do not even.
1,000% yes.
I was talking with a buddy today. He's in a softball league at the local beer shop that I go to, who they refuse to ask me to play. They must know that I suck. And he was talking to me about how he had some nefarious issues in the outfield. He wears glasses, but refuses to wear glasses when he's in the outfield. So we told him to buy goggles. Prescription goggles.
Like sports goggles?
Yeah, sports goggles. He's from LA, big, like annoyingly a Dodger fan.
Kurt
all right?
Rambis fan, probably.
So that's
too.
what I said. I was like, bro, you need to Kurt Rambis this bitch and get yourself some goggles that are Laker colors. He literally, while we were sitting at the bar, bought Kurt Rambis Lakers colored goggles, put in his prescription. They'll be here on Friday.
Dude,
that's the kind of savageness in a beer softball league I want. And I think at 1080 the bro, we could do it.
Well, we did have
I call second base.
Entercom softball team years and years ago that I partook in once. And I remember, and I hope one of you are out there listening, we played the DeMarini team. Like, there's a DeMarini factory. Or
I don't know what that is.
DeMarini bats?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, DeMarini. Oh, dude.
Oh, do they make metal bats?
You give me.
Oh, that's why I don't know who they are.
You give me a DeMarini
because they don't make real
in my
bats.
hands.
Yeah,
No,
I want real bats. Louisville Slugger, I know that brand.
They're popular with the youth.
Why? Because they don't know how to play real baseball?
Patrick, can you just not, please? Okay.
Full circle.
Can you stop?
Check out the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Just proving points over here.
They do have wood bats, by the way. Thank you very much.
Well, let me test those.
But we beat their ass. Well, not like by a lot. We ended up walking
Joe's
them
like, we
off.
smoked their ass. We won 7-6.
We walked them off. But it was an upset. They had a few of those guys that had the soft.
Well, if you work for a company that makes bats, that would be an upset.
They had a couple of the guys with like the softball jerseys.
Ooh.
Like they're in adult softball leagues outside of
you gotta
this.
love that guy who's like got a heater and a Coors Light in his hand, but somehow it's Jack's 2 times out of 3.
He has the visceral fat that you can notice.
Right. Yeah. But he went 2 for 3 with 2 dingers and a triple.
I don't know how.
That math doesn't work. I made that up.
I do not know how we won that game. But the math
Doesn't matter. Dubs
we got
are
the
dubs.
Yeah, we got it.
Dubs are dubs.
But I saw someone the other day on my Instagram stories in the Berg, in Newburgh.
Yeah.
He was doing an adult men's league softball, and I was like, bud,
you about to join his team?
I'm considering it. I'm considering sliding into his DMs and being like, hey, if you need someone to play the hot corner, I'm your guy.
It's hard to get down the throat.
I think that's fantastic, Joe, and I think you should do it.
It will hard to get down the third baseline when Fisher's out there. Snag.
You know what, Joe? You playing third? That's the hot corner.
Damn right it
is.
I would honestly, I just want to go to a batting cage sometime. Just get some cuts in, you know?
Cuts would be fun.
God.
Can you get softball batting cages?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want, I don't need 88 mile an hour heat
No,
coming at me.
no, absolutely not.
No, but if you can give me like a 32 slow pitch, like
No, I think there's a place in over by Washington Square that's got like, I think they go up to 70, and
that's it.
That's
You're
it.
going, Schultze's going, we're all going. All right, that'll do it for us. We'll be back next week, dive into a bunch of stuff. We got automatic strike zone we got to talk about. Plus, boy, people get ejected a whole lot in Major League Baseball, it feels like. So we got a big show for you next week. For Joe Fisher, Schultze on the 1s and 2s, I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt?